Okay, so in the previous tutorial video, we learned how to grab things or take things or reference things from the previous sheet so that they're automatically updated in the forecast sheet. We changed the name of the forecast sheet and we can change the color later on. We did some percentage changes here, so percent decrease, percent increase. We looked at data validation and we did a couple of if statements here as well. Now we're going to move on. Our company's gotten smarter, more efficient. They're happy to have you working for them because you know how to do all this. And we realize that you can't just increase and decrease quantity based on just cutoffs like more than 3 or less than 3. I think each particular rating should have its own increase or decrease in quantity. And what we're going to do is we're going to base it on a specific table, right? So if you look across the top, you see the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, and it goes straight to Q. So obviously there's something missing between the two. I've hidden them. So if you highlight M and Q, right click, and go to unhide, you'll actually see a policy table that has been typed in for you. Now I'm just going to show you how to hide it. So if you do NOP, right click, hide. And the reason you might want to hide or unhide is you don't want it to get in the way, or it might be confidential. You don't want everybody looking at it. You can certainly hide it and unhide it. So let's unhide it. Now here's how it's going to work. We're going to look up this rating for fixed zone 4 in my table. As soon as I find the 4, it's going to say increase quantity by 6.3%. And we'll use the blue allowance number later on in this column here. Now, how do we decide these numbers? This is where your financial analysts, this is where your inventory analysts, your marketing people, economists, they come in. This is all your knowledge of context, your managerial judgment that's going to make you able to come up with these numbers. You don't just make them up. You can go bankrupt because of them. So we want to play around with these numbers as well. So here's the beauty of it. Unlike an if statement that is limited, here all I have to do is either change this rating and it will automatically find a new number in this table, or if I had 1,000 products with the rating of 4, if I change this number, it will automatically change all the 4s. So now I can run scenarios, right? I can just manipulate these 5 numbers and it will automatically update all of this. Now you guys have used tables before. You've gone shopping. There's a table there that tells you what your discount is. If you're in London, England, to go on the train, you have to look up the zone you want to travel to and pay the fee accordingly. We're all used to tables, and mostly tables in life are set up vertically, up and down like this. It's rare to see a table, going across horizontally like this. So let me show you how we're going to do this, okay? It gets a little bit tricky, but with the right practice, you're going to get it. You're going to love it. It's really good. Let's click here. So again, the idea is we're going to take the number 4 rating, find it here, and apply a 6.3% increase. So let's do this manually, then I'll show you the best way to do it, right? Equal sign, 2018 quantity plus 2018 quantity times this number here, 6.3%, right? So think about it. We're going to increase production by 6.3%, and we have to add last year as well. So our next year's increase will be to 819,375. So in the home tab, I'm just going to change the decimal places. Now here's the problem. If I change this rating, it's not going to automatically change this number. All right, that's the problem. And I don't want to have to manually go in and pick a new one. So obviously there's a better way to do it. It's a function called Vlookup. Now the V stands for vertical because what we are looking up is up and down, top to bottom. It is vertical. Okay. Now let me go over this several different ways. So we're going to start with an equal sign. V look up, open the bracket. And I got to tell you, you are going to close that bracket at the end, right? So there's 3 parts to it. One is, what is it you're looking for? Second is, where are you looking? And then third is, what is it you want? So let's make this simple. First of all, what are we looking up? We're looking up this rating. That number 4, your finger's right there, comma. So we're going to look up that rating. And by the way, this is I5, not 15, right? It's a column I5. We're going to look up that rating, comma. You have to tell Excel, where are you looking? You know where your eyes are. They're over here. Excel doesn't know that. So we're going to highlight all of this. right? I'm going to highlight all of it. Now you don't have to highlight allowance, but just to keep it simple, highlight all of it, and make sure you don't highlight the headings because they're not part of it. Now, whatever you're looking for, this number 4 better be in the first column. If it is not, it's not going to find it. This is not going to work, right? So, comma, look at this. What are we looking for? I5. Where are we looking? Here. Now, when it finds the number 4 here, what is it you want? Do you want the 6.3% or do you want the $2.40? Well, you have to tell Excel. It doesn't know what you want. So let's number these columns. This is the first column. This is the second one. That's the third one. Which one do we want? We want the second one, right? Close the bracket. Let's go over this. Look up the number 4. Where? Here. When you find the number 4, which number do you want? The first, the second, or the third? We want the second one, and that's where the comma 2 comes in. I want to press enter, and the answer looks like it's a 0, of course, because it's giving you a percentage, right? Let me just demonstrate. It is actually 6.3% right there. So let's undo that. We want to keep it the way it was. That's just 6.3%. That's all you have here. This whole thing is 6.3%. Now, what is it you want to do with this? You want to multiply it by 2018 quantity. You want 6.3% of last year's quantity. Let's press enter. 48,561 units more. That's 6.3% of that. Okay? Now, obviously, that's not the whole amount we're going to produce. We have to add last year to it as well. So double click, and at the end, do plus G5. Now, you could add plus G5 at the beginning as well. That doesn't matter. But it's just more convenient to do it at the end. So look at this, 6.3% that we found times last year, that's the increase, plus last year, and that will give you the total amount, right? So let's copy this down, and you're going to see something weird. Okay, take a look. Now these first 4 numbers look okay. I mean, you're not really going to double check verify, although you should. The last one just isn't working. There's an NA. I don't know if you know what that means. It just means it's not working, all right? So let's go over this. First of all, only the first one's ever going to work. These ones don't work, and I'll prove it to you. Look, I'm going to double click on this. In this VLOOKUP, we are looking at this rating over here, and we're using this quantity here, right? Take a look. By the time we get to the second one, we are using this rating and this quantity here, but look what happened to this box. It moved down. That's called dynamic cell referencing. That's the beauty of Excel, is as you copy down or across, it proportionately moves everything together in exactly the same space it was. By the time we get down to the last one, look what happens. Sure, this is good. That's good, but look what happened to the box. It dropped all the way down. It can't even find the number 3 in there. So, of course, it's going to give you an NA, right? So I'm going to delete these. They're no good. Can't do that. I'm going to simplify this for you. How do you make it work? Well, dynamic cell referencing says that as I copy this down, this should move down one at a time. This should move down one at a time. But this box is also going to move one at a time. We don't want this box to move. You see those corners? We want that to go from dynamic to absolute. We're going to put a nail in this corner, and we're going to put a nail in this corner. Or think of it as glue. Really good glue over here, really good glue over here. And what are those here and here? Look, it's the N5 and P9, right? Right in the middle. N5, P9. If you glue those together, they're not going to move. So let's simplify this. In every single VLOOKUP you ever do, highlight with your mouse whatever is between the commas. You see that? I'm not including the commas. Just highlight what is between the commas and press the F4 button. Now when you press F4, you're going to get dollar signs. Dollar signs mean glue or absolute cell referencing. I mean, if you look at the dollar sign, it actually looks like a glue bottle. So I am gluing N, gluing 5, gluing P, gluing 9, which is all of this. It will not move when I copy it, okay? Press enter, good. Now copy it down. Perfect, look at this. That's good, this, and that box. Over here, this, and that box does not move. Beautiful. Over here, this, and that box does not move. That's absolute cell referencing. So let me just repeat one more time. Highlight what is in the middle of the 2 commas and press F4, right? And then press enter, then you can copy it down. That is a VLOOKUP. Very powerful thing to know. A lot of uses for it. You can have all these different tables. And I should tell you about VLOOKUP. There is a separate video in the tutorials below all of this that you can have a look at for more details. But what if you had a number of 2.2? uh, then Excel is going to decide that it's closer to the 2. It's going to take the 2. If it was 2.7, it might just go up one level higher. And you could also do that with words. It's a little bit tricky, but it can find letters or words for you as well, right? Now let's finish this off. I'm going to do a percent change. So the percent change calculation, if you remember, is the new number minus the old number divided by the old number, right? Remember that? And of course, you're going to get 0 because it is a percentage. So don't freak out when you get zeros. Just convert it to the percent or the format that you're looking for. Copy that down. I'll just fix these, and we're good to go, right? Now let's do allowance quickly. The allowance actually is based on the rating, right? So if you have a rating of 4, I'm going to give an allowance of $2.40. Now, the way that works is I'm going to start each product group off with $125,000. Plus, I'm going to give them this amount, $2.40, times each unit that they produced, which is this one here, all right? And the answer is going to be, let's just format that, is going to be $2,091,500, okay? Again, the thing is I can't just type in the 240. I have to look it up using a VLOOKUP. So this entire amount here, P8, we're actually going to find it using a VLOOKUP. So let's do that from scratch. Equal VLOOKUP, open the bracket. Remember, that closes at the end. Step 1, what are you looking for? The number 4, comma. Where are you looking for it? In this table here. Not the headings, just this stuff here, comma. When you find the number 4, which number do you want back? 1, 2, or 3? Well, the third column. We want the third one back. Close the bracket, and don't forget, highlight what is between the commas. Press F4, and you can do whatever you like with this. So if I press enter now, the answer I will get for rating of 4 is $2.40, but that's not what I want. I want to multiply this by 2019 quantity, and then of course add my $125,000. Press enter, copy it down, and of course that is exactly the right answer. It's perfect. Now the other thing you want to do is fix this up. Remember those? We centered these titles, we highlighted the headings, changed them to black, font white, highlighted these, and put in a border, right? And if you want to color code these as well, go ahead. I think in the exercise sheet that's what we did. It's up to you. Just use this one. Okay, done. We'll see you in the next exercise. We're going to actually expand this and teach you a few more things in Excel.